Abby, it is so good to have you on the show. We have worked together, so I know you well, but I am so excited to have this conversation from this angle. So welcome. And for everyone listening who don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
Cool. Who am I? I run an agency where we build out evergreen webinar funnels for course creators. So I'm very much focused on helping course creators get off the live launch roller coaster and create income that's peaceful, that's profitable and scalable. So that's the one side is I run the agency, and the other side, which is newer, is I'm also coaching course creators to become really good at building and optimizing funnels so that as the market keeps changing, as we're seeing it is constantly doing, there's no, oh no, it's not converting, I have to discount everything and run a flash sale and da-da-da. It's being able to look and think strategically, okay, how do we solve this?
Yes. Oh, and I love that so much. And that is why you are in my world, right? I heard you on a podcast and I was like, okay, I need help. And I love that word peaceful, especially. That feels good. All right. So, we're going to get back into, all the wonderful work you do. But for now is my all-time favorite part of the show is to go back to young you. What was the very first job you ever did? Like I always say the first, and you're in the UK, so the first pound you ever made.
Okay, so I was 11. In this other life, I was a bit of a chess prodigy. So I used to play competitive chess, and I was hired to coach at the chess club. So that was, my early through 11 to 14. My part-time job was coaching younger children how to become chess champions.
Wow, that is so cool. And funny enough, when you were introducing yourself, I was like put a pin in it, playing chess rather than checkers. So that's pretty cool, and we can get back to that. But that's very cool. So both of my kids actually play chess, and when they leave the class, they are so energized. I'm like, how can you make chess so fun? They love it. It's like it's actually today after school, so I know I'm going to have two very happy kids when they get home. So that's awesome.
I love it.
All right, so 11 to 14. So I'm assuming you participated in tournaments when you were young.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just randomly was my special skill. I think everyone has something that they're just freakishly good at without any training. So it was, I just happened to be good at chess, and was entered into tournaments and then kept on winning. And then the other parents were like, how can I get my children to win? And I was like, oh, I can teach them. So yeah, kind of from then, I guess it's the same thing we do now, right? It's like you take a skill, other people want it, they want a bit of your magic, so you create an offer for them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. That's a very cool story. And what I find so fascinating is so many of my guests start working so young. Like that is a theme. And one day I'll do some research on all the people. Like, what made you start so young? I mean, an 11-year-old, my son is 10, so I get how young that is. What made you, was it just that people asked you, or was there something inside that you were like, oh yeah, I really want to add this value, or whatever it was for you, or just earn the money, right? Like, so I could buy candy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think from a very young age, I was brought up to be independent. So it was, if I wanted pocket money, I had to work for it. And I wanted more pocket money. So I got, I got a job, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. Good on your parents, because I think that is such a valuable skill. All right. So you did that, you said 11 until 14. So you're still in high school. What came next?
Yeah, so I carried on tutoring different things. By the time I was 16, I had 10 students. So that was £100 a week, which was nice. And then I started looking at jobs I could do online. So this was a while ago. So it wasn't like there was Upwork and you could go on. I started doing volunteer blogs, and then I found out about KDP, so Kindle, and I decided to publish all of my A-level notes on Kindle. So I was doing all this work for my A-level. So for the Americans, what do they call it?
I don't know because I'm not even American, so I'm learning the
Yeah,
school
I
system as
know.
my kids go through it. I mean, is
The
it?
exams you do
It's not
when you're
12th
16.
grade, right? Because it's beyond 12th grade.
16 to 18, whatever exams you take. So
Yeah, okay.
I
I mean,
published.
high school. They're just in
Yeah,
high
yeah.
school, sophomores and juniors, and I still don't know the. I will learn.
So whatever you guys or
Mhm.
they do then, yeah. So 16 to 18, I started publishing my notes on Kindle. Made a bit of money from that, and then I'm trying to think the first time I got paid to write online. I think it was through Upwork, and then it was called Odesk. Um, Writing like reviews. Um, yeah, and then it was just always little things, Candice. It was like I used to hang out at this bar. They always had live music, and then they started struggling to get bands. So I said, "I'm well connected. Can I? Do you want me to sort out your Thursday nights for you?" And they were like, "Yeah." So they hired me, and that was when I was 17 or 18. That was my job. I would recruit bands. So yeah, it was very much like whenever there was an opportunity to use my skills, I would take that. And then I guess the real entrepreneurship started was when I was 21. I was offered an internship in South China, and I took that, learned a lot. That was a wild experience. I was writing for a magazine, and at the end, I said, I could do this job from England. I don't need to be in China to do this. And they asked what that would look like. And once I did that, I realized, kind of opened my eyes to the fact that you can work anywhere in the world. It's online. There's this huge network there. And that was really, where I started building up my career as a copywriter.
Mm. There is a theme coming out here, and I'm absolutely loving it. You have this unique ability, and probably not unique others, but you have a really strong ability, really strong, to seize an opportunity. Like to you, it feels like as you're talking, it's so crystal clear in your mind that that was an opportunity and that you could fill a need. And others don't, like, I can talk for myself. I do not see that, right? Like it's not that crystal clear to me. So I just love that. And, I'd love to dig in more of what do you think it is about you that you can just see. It's almost like you open a door and you just see it. Is it hindsight now, or is it in the moment that it's just so obvious to you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's two things. It's resourcefulness. So always thinking, um, like, what leverage do I have and kind of, I guess, clarity on what I want. Like I've always been very clear on what I want. So at that age, I wanted to travel. So that was all I wanted. I wanted money so I could go to Bali and then jump over to Canada and afford these flights. So I had that traveler mindset. When you're traveling, you're scrappy, you make things work, and that that's what really, I guess, drilled, kind of imprinted on me that yeah, if you want something, you can make it happen. So
Mhm.
I wanted to keep that. I wanted to keep that job in China. So I thought, okay, how can I make that happen? And
Mhm.
could freelance. And there are times I was staying in a hostel, didn't have enough money for the next night. So I said, oh, I could optimize your hostel world listing for you, or I could do social media. So it's always, I guess it's the resourcefulness of the backpacker that then became, the foundation of on being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That is wonderful insights. And yes, resourcefulness, absolutely. I totally agree with that sentiment there. So, this podcast is the anti-glam, the anti-insta perfection podcast. So there must have been some tough times during all of this. So during the travel, during, it sounds wonderful hopping on a plane to Bali and then Canada and you're working in China. I mean, yes, and that is wonderful, such amazing life experience, but there must have been some tough nights, some tough days.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, it's. I mean, as any entrepreneur can tell you, it's a roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, sometimes it's a wheel that keeps turning, and even now it keeps turning. So there were times, over the last 10 years where I've been like, I've cracked it. I've got this amazing life. I can travel. I can save money. Like it's all the abundance is flowing, and then suddenly everything goes silent. There's no leads. Everything gets more expensive, or COVID hits. And COVID hit, I couldn't travel. So I had to live in England where things are really expensive. And the jobs I was getting weren't enough to pay for it. So that was a period. And then, and then you figure it out. Things are going good. And then it dries up. I mean, I think there are a lot of business coaches that talk about ending the feast and famine cycle. But I don't know. I kind of think there's always a bit of it. Like even, I run circles with 7-figure coaches or 7-figure agency owners, and they see it too. Like sometimes the leads just slow down, or AI comes and things change. It totally is a wheel that keeps on turning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then how do you get out of that? And or even how do you help your clients get out of that? Either one. But I do want to sit on this a little bit because I
Mm.
do feel like, and again, I can talk for myself where I'm like, okay, if I only just do this thing, or I just get here, everything's going to be easier. Or if I just secure this one thing, right? And then everything will work out. But it's never like that. Now I'm running my business, well, technically for 9 years, obviously ins and outs and ups and downs and changes and things like that. But technically running my own business for 9 years, and it's never been just this one unlock. So,
Mm.
how do you keep going? How do you keep, even your mindset of like, let's just keep doing this. I'm on the right track, but things are not going my way right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree. I think it really is important to spend some time on this because it's such a common thing, right? And this idea that when I've done this, when I've achieved this, this will happen and it'll be okay. And when once I've just cracked Instagram, I'll have leads, and it's such a common mindset. And even when you're aware of it, it takes daily work. One of the things, have you read The Gap and the Gain?
No, I have
I
not. That's
recommend
going to go
that.
on my
So
list. Hmm.
yes, no, it's really good. It's like a mindset book for people, for people like us, really, that are like hungry and we want to, um, and it's this idea that you can either be in the gap and the gap or the gain, right? So you can look and at everything that you haven't achieved and think, okay, what's the next thing? Once I've achieved this, then I'll feel this. Or you can look back and think, okay, what I've already gained. So it's on a timeline. We have the tendency to start where we are right now. So we think, once in 3 months, once this has happened, then it'll be all right. Rather than looking back at the last year and realizing how much we've actually gained to where we are, and then that attitude, and then you can kind of look around at the resources that you've already got, everything you've accomplished, and just feel a bit calmer. And it's the staying in the game and keeping that trust in yourself, that you can do it, because there are always resources there. There is always leverage. It's in the same way, being an 11-year-old and thinking, how can I use my chess skills? It's the same thing. It's the same thing I do as an agency owner running a team. It's the same mindset. It's looking at what you've got, and rather than always looking at what the gap is. Yeah.
Okay, I've got an Audible credit. I know what I'm spending it on now. That sounds like a good book. Okay, and then as you were talking, I was just thinking, let's do this exercise with you. Let's be practical here. So if you had to look back on the last year, and we'll still get to like the middle of when you were younger, how you got to where you are. But in the last year, what would you say were some of those amazing moments that you just sit there feeling so proud of yourself?
Yeah, last year was the year I've grown the most in my business. So much happened last year, the highs, the lows. And do you know what? I do get the feeling for anyone that was in business in 2025, if they're still here after 2025, I am sure that they've learned a lot, that you've learned a lot. It was a very testing year. Like I said, if you make it through 2025, you will come out a resilient business owner. And that is something. So gosh, 2025, I closed around $200,000 in the first 2 months of 2025. So I was on track for $1 million. By the end of Q1, I had 400K in closed projects. So I was like, I have cracked it. I hired a team. We were getting great results. And then there were months of silence. So I didn't hit my million. I had I think 2 months where I didn't get a single client, and that was really weird, because you have a huge win like that. Like that was a big money win for me, and you think, yeah, like right, I'm going to keep investing into my team. I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to invest in that. Like I've broken over that kind of ceiling. But yeah, as I said, the wheel keeps turning. Like you take your foot off the gas and things slow down. I was so busy, I guess, dealing with the bottlenecks that had emerged. When you have a big growth spurt, and then all of these kind of things pop up like gophers, and you have to kind of push them back down. So I was so focused on that I didn't realize that the leads weren't coming in. And kind of around September, October, I was looking at my finances, and I was back in that position of, I really need to get a client in. And it's just funny, because I don't know if you can relate, but when you get on this high and you think, I'm never going to be back there again, and you almost always are. Like it's not, and that's that's okay. It's not, for me, it's not sustainable to be switched on, making every month a baller, amazing month. Like some months you do just need to lift your foot off the gas a bit, and things will slow down. And I think what I'm trying to learn is that it doesn't need to always be really stressful. It can be a case of acknowledging that and looking at why things have slowed down, and again keeping that trust in myself that I can get it flowing again. It just might take a bit of time.
Yes, I love that, and thank you for the honesty, because I think when you look behind the curtain of any business, this is the reality. As you get the clients, and again, talk from my own experience, as you get the clients, you're so busy serving them that you're not looking external. You become internally focused rather than externally, and then you're not looking external, you're not growing. So that is the thing. All right, so let's do the journey now. So back to when you traveling, this is probably pre-COVID, you're
Mm.
traveling everywhere. What got you from the backpacker, so to speak, to the agency owner that you are today?
Yeah. Mentorship. I feel very privileged because I have a mentor that I just click with. I really trust her. Joanna Weeb, going to name drop there. Joanna Weeb. I
Mhm,
really trust her. I trust that she has my best interests at heart, and the way that she thinks, it just resonates. So she really, there were 2-3 years there where I was very much like, I'm just going to do whatever Joe says. So, I was this 24, 25-year-old, just did what she said and was able to go from kind of this penny pinching, scrappy backpacker to having a 6-figure business within a year of working with her. So, yeah, I think credit where credit's due. Finding, the right mentor for me, and that I'm very fortunate that Joe was out there, and we just clicked as we did.
What was some of the tough love she gave you that you
Oh,
did
the
not
tough
want to hear?
love.
That you were like, no, thank you, Joe. This is
Yeah,
too
so
hard.
much tough love. I
Yeah.
think the biggest mindset shift that she had to kind of bash into me is, you're not a freelancer, you're a business owner. Because I very much had that freelancer mindset of, if someone shows me their credit card, I'm scurrying towards that. It's like, yeah, I'll write your website, I'll write your emails, or just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll take that your $50. And Joe taught me to think like a business owner. So, getting clear on what you want, what you do, the problems that you solve, and looking at the whole business. So it's not just the client work. My job isn't just to write copy for clients. My job is to get leads into the door. My job is to build my authority, so that clients come to me, so that they come to me already thinking I'm an expert, so I can close them at higher price points, to grow the business and essentially do more than just keep the lights on.
Yeah. That's really good advice. That is really good advice. So many people, including me, it's taken a long time, right? I'm a consultant. I consult for clients. It's great. And now it's trying to shed that identity definitely takes a lot of mind work, 100%. Okay, so we have gone into a little bit of the hard times of your business and all of that. What are some client hardships, and not even hardships, but just maybe where you couldn't deliver on the promise or something like that, but like where you just wanted to say, I can do it, just give me more time, just let's keep going. What is a story, a client story that you'd like to share?
Yeah. I mean, a few come to mind. I had one client last year, and it was a real dream client. I was over the moon when I closed that. I was building an evergreen funnel, and optimizing it, and I built it, and it was converting, but it was a real trickle. It was a real trickle of leads, and I said, look, we need to run ads to this thing, otherwise it's not, if we don't run ads, if we don't get the traffic, we're not going to know if it works. And they were really hesitant. So I said, okay, I will front $10,000 in ad spend because I'm that confident that it's going to work. We did it, and we saw results. And I think that was the first time I've really put my money where my mouth is. And yeah, that kind of, I think when you really have skin in the game, as a service provider, the way you make decisions changes, because you can really, like, before I would think for my clients that just run ads, we'll see, and doing that and in running my own ads, realizing how really stressful it actually is when you're watching that money go away, and it changes the way that you, or that I make decisions as when I'm working with clients. So that would be one story. The other one that comes to mind is I have a client in my mastermind, the Evergreen Elite. Adore her. And we've been working together for 6 months, and she just hasn't seen the results. And when you have that client and you really want them to succeed, there's so much. So because of I'm expensive, right? Because of the rates that I charge, because I am able, when that happens, I just gave her 9 months extra of working with me, and I built her webinar for her for free. It's when it's getting to that position where I've got my systems in place and the money's there. It's really lovely that when people don't get the results, I can offer them more and stay with them to help them. So that was, I think I went off on a little bit of a tangent, but
No, not
yeah.
at all. No, this is exactly, I love it. That, and you said something very important there, which is the skin in the game. And I think that is undervalued when the supplier or the person you're working with genuinely cares about your results. That is huge. But how do you not get so involved? I don't know. How do you have that line in the sand where, it's not your business that they have to do, I don't know, 80% of the heavy lifting and you're there to support. How do you draw that line? I'm struggling with that. That's why I'm asking the question, because I'm like, why are you not logging in? You've got to do the course. It's going to help you so much. But, you can only take a horse to water, right?
Yeah. I mean, as a service provider, I think I do end up taking on probably the 80%. But I think a big part of what I do is optimization. And I learned through that work with the dream client a really important lesson, and that's you cannot optimize from an emotional place, because you will make mistakes. So I was so desperate for this to work, because I really wanted her approval. I wanted her to love me. And I was desperate, and I was testing, trying things. And it just doesn't work. When you're in that frantic place, you don't leave experiments long enough. You don't focus on the right things. It really is when you to step out and look at things as neutrally as possible. That's when you can make smart strategic decisions. So that experience, it really woke me up to the fact that sometimes it is possible to care too much. Because I've always thought the fact that I care about my clients is such a strength, and that's why they hire me. And it never occurred to me that caring too much could actually be damaging, not just to me, but to them as well. And that really caused something to kick, because I think when it's just damaging you can justify it. It's like, well, I just care, la 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 la. But when you realize it's kind of harming everybody, that was what woke me up, and I'm much more aware of where that line is and the boundary, and can shift from kind of the emotional involvement, to strategy hat. When the moment my strategy hat is on, it's neutral, it is data.
Oh yes, that's excellent. And then that actually brings it full circle to the chess versus checkers. And I do believe we're in a game now where people are more thoughtful about what they purchase, the memberships they get into, the coaches they trust. So playing that game of chess versus checkers is something really resonating with me, and, thinking 10 steps ahead and what I'm building in the future and how it's going to help and where the whole industry is going. So tell me a little bit about that with you, and since you work in a similar thing to what I mean, not a similar thing, but you basically support me, right? I'm your client, so or have been your client. So how would you advise me or someone wanting to build their membership or something like that, to go from that one to one to one to many? Very long-winded question there.
Yeah. So what do you want me to, what would you like me to answer?
Yeah.
Like, how do you go from one to one
Yeah.
to
So
one to many?
what's changing now? Because you said in 2025, if you made it through, now you're a resilient business owner for sure. And I agree it was tough. But in this market where people are the trust recession, we're hearing that all over social media, what would you say to your clients,
Mm-hmm.
to people moving from that one to one to one to many space? What advice would you give them?
Can I have two things?
Oh, you can have as many things as you want.
Oh,
This
as
is
many as I want.
your
I think you've got a
podcast.
hard stop though. Okay, so one of the things would be to really get clarity on your big idea. So this is the thing that some of the most brilliant marketers and coaches that I know don't have it. If I say to you, what's your big idea? You should be able to answer in a clear sentence. And what I see is I ask people if they have one and they say, yeah. And they say, oh, it's this, or it could be this. It's like, no, you need one thing. I mean, if we're taking some examples, Duolingo, right? I've been talking about Duolingo a lot recently. So their big idea is that people struggle to learn languages and they think that is because they're bad at languages. They think people say, oh, I'm just bad at languages. Duolingo have reframed that and said, no, it's not because you're bad at languages. It's because traditional methods are really boring. And that's what makes it hard. Whereas Duolingo, it's fun, it's gamified. You can learn a language in 5 minutes a day. That's such a powerful idea that anything you see from Duolingo, whether it's on the app, their campaigns, their ads, it's all linked to this one idea. And having a strong, big idea that people get, that people can point to and say, I want that, I get that. That's so powerful. Like that cannot be, it cannot be understated, because then your Instagram gets easier. Your link, because you're just posting the same message, you're just beating the same drum. So that would be the first thing, is don't underestimate the importance of a big idea, of your messaging. Get that one message down. And then the second thing would be, I've forgotten what I was going to say. So you've got the big idea, and then it's difficult because there are so many things coming to mind. I think okay, here's one. Focus on not outcomes, but really transformation. Because the thing is, I was talking yesterday to a potential for my mastermind, and I said, the idea of this is to get you to $1,000 a day with your online course, and this is the price. And they said, well, it's a no-brainer if it works, but I've been burned before, so how do I know it's going to work? And there are so many levers you can pull here. You can pull social proof, you can talk about your processes, all this. And what I really wanted to say, which is what I did say, is I can't say that it's going to work, but what I can promise is that if you work with me for the full 12 months, I will forward you into a strategic optimizer. So whether you get that outcome now or not, you will think like an evergreen strategist. When things aren't working, you will know what's not working. You will know what tests to run. You will no longer feel like you are looking to different experts, different programs. You'll become the person driving the results in your business. And I think there's something powerful in that, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't get the outcome that he wants, it's not going to be a waste. He's going to know that he will get there. It just might take a little bit longer. So I think, focus on not just the outcome that you want people to achieve, but focus on who they're going to become, because that people buy into that. People are always going to invest in their growth. And with all this talk of, oh, as coaches, courses, are they dead? Like, no, they're not. Just put that out of your mind. Like, I just spent $30,000 on a blooming online course. Like, it's people still buying courses, but yeah, focus on the transformation and get your big idea down. Get that big idea.
Yes. I was in your webinar, what was it, 2 days ago, and highly recommend for anyone listening here, go and watch that. And my comment with the big idea is, this is hard. I didn't even get to like the first sentence, because it's so hard to get the one big idea. Like that is the hardest thing, because there's so many things, right?
There's
So
so
many
ideas.
good things. So
yeah, but
good
it
advice,
makes
Abby.
billionaires. I mean, you look at Nike. They were literally, this guy was a coach, coaching a track team, and he went and he made like the first prototype was with a waffle iron, and it was the just do it. Like, that's such a strong big idea. This idea that people are looking to athletes and thinking how and thinking they want to get fitter, they want to push themselves, but they're looking at these athletes and thinking that's not me, and it makes them feel bad. And Nike, the whole like big idea was, no, anyone can be an athlete, anyone's limitless, and it became the just do it, which everybody knows. And they literally sell trainers, and they are a multi-billion-dollar brand. So that is the power of a big idea.
It is iconic, absolutely iconic. Yeah. All right. So now I would like your take on, when building a career, if you're inside an organization or you're running your own business, doesn't matter which, when building a career that you really love and that you want to wake up on, Monday, and you can't wait to get to your computer, and you're like, yes, so energized, even though they're hard days. What are we not talking enough about when it comes to building such a life?
Yeah. I think the first thing is, you don't jump out of bed every single day excited, and that's okay. But I mean, I think there has to be joy in it. I mean, that's it. Like, and this is with the what I love about chess, because every Wednesday I go to chess club, and it's 3 hours, and it's probably the only time I'm not on my laptop or on my phone. There are no devices. And I love it because it's like this itch in my brain, or I can like feel it light up in just a really pleasurable way, because when I'm thinking strategically like that, I'm in my element and it feels good. And I think everyone has that thing, or more than one of those things, where it just makes your brain light up in a good way, or your heart, or whatever it is, it just feels good. And if that's not a key pillar in the business you're building, I do think there's a cap on how much joy you're going to get from it. I mean, there are days I wake up and I'm dreading it because it's a project that's hard, or there's a problem I can't solve. But deep down, even on those days, I love what I'm building.
Yeah. Finding that thing that literally lights your brain up. I love that. Almost tangible, I can almost feel it. Like, yes, that is how I feel about my business, definitely. No matter how hard it is, I love it. I feel proud of it. So what is it, and again, we've looked back on your year, but what are you proud of? You said you love what you're building. What do you love about it? What makes you proud?
All of it. I mean, I love that I was able to buy my house. Like that was great. I love I love working with course creators. I really do, because it's education, and course creators help people achieve things, sure, but it's more than that, because like they are, I suppose you're a course creator, you inspire people to do things. Because if today I wanted to learn how to play the violin, okay, there's videos, I could do all that, but by tomorrow I would have forgotten, and then it might keep coming back round. But if there's an online course or webinar and it just really connects with me, and I really love this person, and they're making me feel really excited and imagining myself playing like Lord of the Rings, at my friend's wedding, and I can feel that, and it feels amazing. Like that's what inspires action, and that's so powerful. So yeah, that's why I think courses, because we can all do. There is information for anything. There is no shortage of information. What there's a shortage of is inspiration, and that's really what course creators do, is they inspire us to take action. So I love being part of that. I get to work with such lovely course creators, like mostly women that are really passionate about what they do, and they have a vision, and it's nice to be part of that, and the energy's good, and it feels kind of like I'm getting to like kind of water other gardens as well. I love that I've been able to hire a team, that I can pay them well. I pay them way above the standard, and that's nice, because I get to be the kind of business owner that I wish everybody was. So I'm proud of that too. And again, and this is because I guess I'm coming back to this because I know a lot of business owners do lowball themselves, and there's some mindset there. And it's when you charge well for good work, you get to be more generous, and that's really great.
Yes, yes. I heard a saying which changed my money mindset, because I know I lowball myself, or lowballed them myself in the past. They said, if you're a nice person, you owe it to the world to make money, because that's all. I've got like a list of 50 things, and I literally printed it out, like all the things I want to do with them with my money one day, and I'm like, save the whales. Like, I'm so excited. One day I will save the whales. So yeah, I totally relate to that part. And Abby, that's a lot to be proud of. And honestly, I feel like, having worked with you, I've seen firsthand, what you put into your work, the effort, the brain you bring. I mean, it really is great. So I think what you do is wonderful. All right, so let's wrap up with our final question, which is, if you could travel all the way back to young Abby, and it doesn't have to be 11-year-old, whatever feels good for you, what would you thank your young self for doing then that really set you up for where you are now?
Yeah, I think just going for it. I think there was always a lot of decisions I made were questions, and there was a lot of pressure to get a real job, and and stop traveling and just get serious. And I knew what I wanted, and I love freelancing, and I really felt like there was something there, and I ignored that. Was maybe a bit of a punk back then, but I'm grateful to myself for doing that, because I gave myself the time that I needed, and yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, just going for it. I love it. That it's so simple and so perfect. So that is an awesome thing to thank yourself for. All right. So now we don't need, to contact you on Instagram or LinkedIn. We'll put all the links in the show notes. But who should contact you, and why should they contact you?
Love that. That's a good question for a podcast host to ask. I like that. Who should contact me is if you are a course creator and you know that you've got something good. You know that you've got a good course, and you know, if you're deep down, you know that a million, why not? Like, you've got something you can really build here. But you just don't feel like you've cracked it. You haven't found that big idea yet. You've created different funnels, maybe stuck on that live launch roller coaster bit. And you want someone who's going to take your business seriously, and partner with you, not just give you a funnel, partner with you for 12 months. That's the length of my mastermind. To turn your course into the goodness that you want it to help you kind of unlock that, get your funnel going, optimize it, turn you into the person driving results in your business, then reach out to me, because you might potentially be a good fit for the Evergreen Elite. And if you love what you do and you help people solve a problem, then that's, you're the kind of person I want to hear from.
Fantastic. Well, Abby, thank you so much. It's been wonderful again to have this conversation in this way. And, I feel like I know you even better now. So thank you so much for sharing and being so open.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.